Hello trips and welcome back to Hanning's Rest. Today I'm just going to give you a guided tour of my layout and I'll start here. Now this is my old Abbey. This was a Pegasus kit that my wife built, painted up and weathered and all that. I think it looks really good. There's an owl up here, which I don't know where we got up. We got it off a show or a fair or something. There's actually 3 of them on this layout. We've been for that, it's the graveyard with the naughty girls and this photographer guy here. He's actually an old Sabbatio photographer. There's the gravestones. There's the ghostly women. There's my vampire. Some Timu trees. This is Abbey Hill. We'll call this Abbey Hill. That just looks like an old Abbey, doesn't it? I'm just down for Abbey Hill. There's some nudist playing. This stone diking I got from that model railway guy, I think that stuff's brilliant. It's foam. And it bends to any shape. And it looks really, really good. Right. Just in for that, we'll get the tunnel mouth, Abbey Hill Tunnel, some more Timu trees, then we get down onto that's a scale model scenery bridge, we're doing it in the valley, with the birds flying and all sorts. There's some mountaineers here, there we go, some mountaineers. The guy at the bottom, standing at the bottom of the footpath. The wee fisherman in there. That was the Resin River that I poured a while ago. And that's my ferryman. Some more detail on the other side, more rocks and stuff. And onto this side is the start of the just before we went into the town. We've got some more trees and stuff to put on this and bushes and whatnot to make it look a bit more realistic, if you like. There's a wee frogman in there beside the signal. It's a scratch built bridge that I made. The kids play area, which still doesn't have any kids in it, as I can't find any HO kids playing, or double O kids playing. The farmer's field with all the sheep and all that in it, and I'll show you them better in a minute. There's a wee hump of trees and stuff. I'm going to put a fence or something round here. I don't really know what to do with this, but there's my couple of rockers and a wee boy getting an ice cream for ice cream van and stuff. That soldier needs to come off of that plinth because I think it looks terrible, but well, there we go. The front of the station. Policeman guiding traffic. Along the front here, so you can see some kids, the bin man and the bin lorry. Just there. Right, trips and down here I've got my war memorial with a parking cone on his head. Now that was this is a nod to the statue of Duke of Wellington that's in Glasgow. It's always got a parking cone on its head, and it's actually now that famous you can get postcards of it. And this is one side of the station with a couple, well, the guy proposing to his girlfriend. Some bags, stuff. Guys humping stuff. So it's still needing wee bits and pieces tidied on it, you know. I've tidied up this end. But I've still got a lot more to do. And now back to the front side of the station, I've got this little goods yard with allotments. And there's a fence to go along here at some point when I get fencing, but that's my little allotments. These were two Langley white metal kits. I think that's a scale model scenery kit. That one. The vegetables and that I got, I think it was a Bosch kit or something. It was quite pricey, but there was quite a lot in it, you know, so that was quite good. Also got a petrol station for Metcalfe, which is still to get a lot more detail put into it. There's also this little garage that I got. I think this is it Scaledale or something, what it's called. It's a Scaledale kit, well, resin model. I've still to get interiors to put in that. As you can see, there's no interiors on it. I've got some more rubbish to put in here. A fence to run right along the back of the railway. That's my sheep lorry. I've still got sheep to put in. Oh, my coos are still aligned in. I'll need to stand them up at some point. That was a ratio kit. That was actually quite an interesting kit to build. It was quite tricky. I did find it quite challenging, shall we say. And we're on to, that was a little, that's a super quick Wayne Hut. There's a little guy in there with a newspaper that's sitting at a table and stuff. Obviously my Hornby plasticky signal box. Got a waste ground that's still got some stuff to do to it. Oh. My level crossing seems to have come a cropper. That's better. That was a Wills kit, I think. And it didn't quite work out the way I'd intended it to, but there we go. On here, this is the road up to the farm. With Farmer Brown, who's still to be painted, sitting in his bottom of the tractor, all these sacks and stuff. Oh, hang on. All these sacks and barrels and whatnot. I've already done. That was a slight derailment there, by the way, guys. More Timu trees and Timu tufts like grass and stuff. All the way up to the farm. I'm still to decide what to do with this bit of ground here. I don't know whether to put more trees in there or coos or whatever. There's some chickens in the farm yard, there's some coos in the backyard. There's a bit of crop there. That steam traction engine is actually too wide to get up and down this road, so it's kind of stuck there forever. There's some more junk for the farm kicking about. It's a scale model scenery barn and a wee farmer there. That's a Daypol kit, another owl on the roof. Mrs. Brown hanging out the washing in the back garden. Got some more of this kind of wisteria type stuff. I've got bags of that left, so I'll use that on something. Around here I've got a farm that I've still to put. There's more coos lying down here. Coos are all sleeping. I'm not really doing all the coos are sleeping. I'll need to get more coos and stuff and put them in here. Because it's looking kinda hard with just that wee group of coos there. Some more Timu trees. There's a billboard that's advertising, I think it's Pilthorpe sausages. There's a little forestry bit with a deer in it. I think one of them might be having a wee lie down and all. That just runs along the other side of that tunnel. It's Farm Tunnel. That's little cottage and all that. Right, this is the start of my industrial area. As you know, I'm going to put rocks and stuff on here and landscape all this. I've actually got a signal box kit which has just arrived, and it will sit in there nicely, I'm hoping. There's a little laser cut kit. I'll show you that when it's built and painted and all that. And that's all the little factories that my wife made. Most of these are petite properties, except for that one at the end, which we got at the SECC and wasn't very impressed with, because there was no roof, there was no windows in it, and there was no back on it, so that wasn't very good. But these factories will continue right along here, right up to our scale model scenery 1. There'll be more rocks and stuff going on here with the tunnel mouth and all that. This is where the engine shed's going. My wife's actually just laying the bricks and all that now for that. So that'll be ready very shortly. I don't know whether to put a little cone stage thing in here or not, because I've got the water tower and all that, but I don't really have space there for a cone stage as such. Anyway, go along here, and this is going to be the diesel depot bit. I'll get a base and all that made for that. Get this all painted up, windies and all that made up for it, because there's no windies in it when I go to that. After my friend Ian. There's the little pumps and all that, I'll have to go on it. Paint all them up, they'll look brilliant. Alright, so basically that's this bit. Right, this is us back up on the farmer's field at this side. The layout, so these are the sheep that my wife flocked. I'm going to change this tractor, because that's an RAF tractor, that's not a proper farmer's tractor. It was just what I had kicking about at the time. There'll be more fencing and stuff to go along here. Up there, you know, you kind of separate the sheep from the trees. Down in here we've got an old, this is a Daypol kit, it's basically the same tooling as the old Airfix kit. There was loads of flash on this when I got the kit, and it was a nightmare to get all the flash off it. But I weathered it all, painted it all, made it up, weathered it all. It's looking quite good. These boxes are supposed to be standing up. I had an invasion by the cat one day and it's not put all other stuff over. Oil drums, a little Andrew Bartley which lives in this little shed here. And I've got the coal stains. I've had this since I was about 12, this kit. There's bits missing off it, you know, there's some of the trims missing off it, but who cares? That was a freebie at a Railway Modeller, that kit, I think. It was Railway Modeller. This is the back end of that station where the shrubs and all that. I'll do something with this. I'll have a bit of grass or whatever in there just to break it up a bit. These two things, I have no idea. Don't ask me, the wife put them there. The other side of the station. That's an old Hornby Diblow bridge, by the way, it's all metal one. I've had that for years. Got a romantic couple, girl with holding a baby waving. Station master checking his watch for the time of the trains. People just sitting about and stuff. I got this little planter set for, I think that was Shedring. I got that from, that was really good. I've got to see the other side of this street better. And as you can see in the window there's a girl doing strange stuff. That's that side. still got more people to add, populate the place. There's a beggar there, he's done. These box. Can't remember what film it is, the cinema showing today, but it shows a film anyway. Now we've got a cat and it's called Teaspoon, and I painted this one up, that's a white metal one, I painted that up to look like Teaspoon, so Teaspoon's on my way out. Along here, oh, there's somebody lying in there, a guy carrying his bride across the threshold. View up to the farm, bus the level crossing, the plasticky signal box. I got this is I think it's a Bachmann one, it's a scale wheel or whatever it is. I got that at a toy fair second hand, so I just put it there. I had that super quick one that's at the other side there, but I thought that one looked better. So and there it went. So here I've got some there to do with this road. I don't know what we need to put some there. Vehicles on it or what. It's quite a long road, there's not a lot on it. This is my Metcalf goods shed, which I don't know if you can see it very well. I've put people and stuff inside it. Then a couple of these red on the road. So I'll duke it there. And this little petite properties cottage that my wife built. And I think that's absolutely lovely. That's absolutely lovely. It's got an owl on the top, that's the third owl, another owl's on top there, the farmhouse. Alright guys, so, as you can see I've still got loads to do. And there's a fencing and stuff right in there, all the fencing along here, fencing room this side of the track and for their room, you know. So plenty to do. Got some more landscape to do up on that hill. Some more garbage and stuff to leave kicking about at the side of this engine shed and stuff. Aye, well that's it guys. Well that's the overall view. Right troops, as usual, always use some running shorts. Remember, like, share, subscribe, all that kind of, you know. It doesn't cost you anything. You can even comment if you want. I'm no fussed. Right, so see you on the next one. Bye now. Bye.